Hello. If my name was Brian, I'd say let's take a light bath. But as I'm not a Brian, let's have a sound bath. A lovely, cleansing, relaxing, crunchy ambient sound bath. Now this is SPICE from Plankton Electronics, currently on Kickstarter, and super selfishly, I want this to happen. I want one. I want to be a pledge and make this happen, and I wanted to support the Kickstarter. So this is a prototype that I'm borrowing simply to make it happen. So go to the Kickstarter if you like this video and do go support it. There's a link in the description. I think it's a killer little unit and it'd be sad if it didn't happen. I like Plankton Electronics and I really like SPICE. So here's my totally dry sound that's coming into the unit, and let's just check out what it's doing. And while the dry sound plays, I just want to let you know this is just some patches. It's not going to be an in-depth demo. It's just making some sounds, exploring SPICE, effectively helping promote the campaign so I can have a final unit when it's ready. That's the dry sound for this patch. Here's the wet sound. Now coming into the main input, I've patched out of the digital section because I've repatched into that. You can patch into the analog filter and YouTube technology, the filtering and the digital section all independently, or they can mix through each other. So I'm coming in through these filters, into the analog section and coming out. I've patched in this sound, the dry output, through a send and return on my mixer to a delay and then to the digital section. And I love some bit crushing and decimation and downsampling. Especially when you can kind of hide that and crunch up a background under a pad. So here's the wet sound from the main unit, not the digital section. And here's that digital section getting the same output that you're hearing through a delay, then into the digital section. Of course, blending in some dry. This is a bandpass filter, by the way. Brings in all the kind of warmth of the original unit. I say warmth because the bandpass is cutting most of these frequencies out. And then dropping this into a huge cavernous reverb. We've got like tremolo drive from the new tubes, we've got bandpass filtering, some modulated high pass filtering, a little kind of feedback on itself through some delay into the digital section, feeding that into some reverb, and it just completely kind of blisses out this synth loop. So here, SPICE is kind of slamming this beat. I've got the envelope follower controlling the cutoff on the analog section, and I've patched around the digital section for now. That's stomp box style distortion. All those Korg YouTube type distortions. Say high pass filter it. Low pass. Let's get some of that digital action going. So I'm just going to pull this cable that's taking the filter section's output into the analog section, which is going to introduce this digital processing. and they work really well together. Of course, patch around them as you see fit. So here's just a simple droning triangle wave into SPICE, and let's listen to it dry. Full productive sequence to it, nothing else, and SPICE then feeds my output with no other processing. Using the drive, I'm adding a lot of harmonics to this triangle, and then using the filter, we're carving them back out again with an envelope to a cutoff. Totally freak it out with that feedback. So to finish on, I just wanted to get a little bit weird. And I think I've succeeded. Here's the dry sound without SPICE. Now there is some reverb on this, I'll get rid of it. And this is the input sound to SPICE, totally dry. As in dry on SPICE, however it's not a dry sound coming in. There's a little bit of delay over some modal synthesis patching. Now I'm modulating this in time with some stepped sequences and also some unsynced LFOs, and just creating out a kind of destructed version of the input. It's pretty nasty, I think we'd all agree. But what I've done to try and create an extra layer and some interesting kind of destruction artifacts in the background is use a trigger in time with the sequence to an envelope, and using that to the wet input to open up that wet sound, giving us this little in-time crunchy SPICE action. Just gives us this extra layer of weirdness. So I hope this has been a useful little introduction to SPICE from Plankton Electronics, a input to feedback generating, envelope following, mixer, filter, digital, analog, Korg, YouTube, analog filter, lots of CV input, goodness, in a module or desktop format. As I said, I just got in touch with them and asked if I could borrow the prototype and make a little video. I hope it's successful on Kickstarter. Click the link in the description. I'd really like a final unit because we're discussing some tweaks and some kind of extra things that are going to be in the production version. And if there is a production version, if it's successful, I'll do a demo with the full thing when it's ready. That's it for now. Cheers for watching.